Are there any rules for word stress in English? So maybe in some of your native languages, there are rules for whether you put the stress on the first syllable or the last syllable or the second one. Unfortunately, English does not have definite rules because English, because of the way it developed and because it has influences from so many other languages, it's just kind of a mishmash, a mixture of many different influences. And that's why the pronunciation and spelling rules are so inconsistent. Now, there are a couple of patterns. I'm going to show you just a couple patterns, but I'm also going to show you some exceptions. So that's why I'm calling them patterns and not rules. Like when we have a two-syllable noun or a two-syllable adjective, we usually stress the first syllable. So we have table, window, happy, yellow, okay? Stress on the first syllable for two-syllable nouns and adjectives. But then notice we have some exceptions. We have words like guitar, hotel, balloon. Those are all two-syllable nouns with the stress on the second syllable. So again, it's a pattern, but not a strict rule. And when we have two-syllable verbs, we usually stress the second syllable. So we have relax, begin, delete, arrive. But again, some notable exceptions. These are two-syllable verbs with the stress on the first syllable. We have answer, travel, study, okay? So these are patterns, not strict rules. But you can see we have some words that are both nouns and verbs, and what tells us whether it's a noun or a verb is the stress pattern. So we have record, that's the noun, and then we have the verb record. We have the noun progress and the verb progress. We have the noun content and the adjective content. I have a lesson about this. Just email me again if you'd like to see more words like this. There aren't a ton of them, but it's just an interesting little detail. The same word can be a noun or a verb or an adjective, and the difference is in the word stress. So with these, it's especially important to get the word stress right. English also has certain word endings that always have the stress on the syllable right before it. So one is the word ending T-I-O-N. When you see T-I-O-N or a similar one, S-I-O-N, the stress is always on the syllable immediately before. So we have imagination, decision, okay? It's always, the stress is always on the syllable immediately before that word ending. Let's think of some more. Education, creation. Oh gosh, there's a ton of them in English. Another word ending that makes the stress be right before it is IC. So we have geographic. So in the word geography, the stress is on the O, geography. But when we have geographic, the stress changes to right before the IC ending. But my advice to you, I suggest that you don't try too hard to memorize these because, again, there are so many exceptions. I think it's honestly better to just keep listening to English, repeating English, and learn them naturally. Learn naturally where the word stresses go. You can definitely do a lot of this listening and repeating inside my pronunciation course as well as my shadowing course, okay? Shadowing is simply listening to me say a phrase and then repeating immediately afterwards to imitate my pronunciation and the word stress. This is why I suggest don't get too wrapped up in the rules or the exceptions. Definitely look up new words in a dictionary where you can click, an online dictionary where you can click to listen to the audio so that you make sure that you know the correct word stress from the beginning. But don't focus too hard on rules or patterns. Just try to learn each word as it is, listen to lots of English, repeat lots of English, and you will just pick up the correct stresses naturally. Okay? Yes, if you want to keep going, keep learning, then I suggest you download the 30 mini lessons that I believe the link is in the description of this video. Just put in your email address and you will automatically get an email with that downloadable PDF. The 30 quick lessons in the PDF are different from the ones we covered today.